Alright, what's going on today, guys? Today we're going to be doing something completely different. I'm going to be unboxing my new 3D printer and my wash and cure machine. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is my first 3D printer. I've never bought a 3D printer in my life. And really, I don't really have a whole lot of... No, not a whole lot. I don't really have any graphic design experience at all. But I've always wanted to get into 3D printing. I thought it was pretty cool, especially like when you got little things around the house you want to print off, or in my case, I got a bunch of wrenches and things. I'm always like thinking like, spending this much money, I could print my own design. It could be the exact length I want, the exact design I want, so forth. Well, the other day I was on stream and I was talking to a guy, and yeah, he kind of pushed me over my little hump in my fear, and so I pulled the trigger and I picked up a 3D printer and a parts washer and a curing machine. I guess what I'm getting at is if you're new to electronics, if you're kind of old school like me and you didn't really grow up with a bunch of technology, it can be kind of frightening, because it's a nice little chunk of change sitting here, and not to be able to use it would be pretty annoying. So basically, give me just a second here. I'll mess something up. So basically, I'm going to take that leap for us. I'm going to see if a complete total noob can own and operate a 3D printer successfully. Guys, when I say I'm new, I mean I am super new. Like, I just learned how to install Windows last year. Like, I could build a PC, but someone else had to install Windows for me. So it's pretty annoying. So anyways, that's where we're at. Complete novice. See if I can get you in here a little better. I'm usually sitting comfortably at my desk. I already don't talk that much, so I'm a little bit out of my element here, so bear with me a little bit as I try to work on camera angles and so forth. I want to show you all the boxes as I unbox it. So we're just gonna do the unboxing and setup today. So because another little noob mistake I just made was I didn't know this stuff didn't come with resin. So this is a resin 3D printer. I didn't know it did not come with resin, so I didn't buy resin. And I didn't know about slicing until this morning. I don't have a slicer downloaded, so we're gonna need to get a slicer downloaded. I ordered some resin this morning, so I have resin on the way. I didn't know these things didn't come with screen protectors for the LCD monitor or whatever on the base, so I got one of those coming. Yeah, so yeah, I've done very little research. I was recommended the Elegoo brand. I was actually recommended a Saturn. I ended up going with the Saturn 2. And main reason for it is the 8K versus the 4K monitor. So you get a higher resolution print. It's just like with a TV or a monitor or your cell phone or anything else. It's pixels per, I don't know, inch or per square inch, whatever. So if you have 8K on a 10-inch monitor and you have 4K on an 8-inch monitor, well, we need to do the math on that. Divide it out, see what's what. But it should be more clear. It should have more pixels per inch. So yeah, really, that's the only reason why I went with the 2 instead of the 1, the original. And I think this one had a little bit bigger vat to print with. All right, so excuse me as I stumble over my words and kind of think about what I'm going to say. I try to get you as raw experience as I can. This was a little bit of a, not a complete impulse buy. I thought about it for every bit of about 10 hours, maybe? No, not even that. We talked about it at like, I don't know, between 10 and 12 o'clock in the morning. I didn't think about it really again until about afternoon time that day, the next day, or that day, whatever, you know, because it's morning time. And then I purchased it that night. So I really didn't put a lot of time and effort into thinking about it, because I'll overthink it and then I'll overthink it and then I won't get it. I'll start looking for the best bang for the buck on stats wise, and then that may not be the actual best bang for the buck. I only know one other person with a printer, and it's not a resin printer, it's the wire feed printer, whatever that is. And he hasn't had much luck with it. So he's had it for about a year now, and I've pretty much stayed away from even thinking about getting a printer since then. So when this guy showed me some things he was printing with his Mars, I was really impressed. And then he kind of explained to me of, you know, how simple it is to find these things now, and then it's all open source. Well, not all of it's open source, but there's a lot of stuff open source and out there for you to find without having to purchase. It's not as new as a technology as it used to be. Now, you know, if you break down, you may have some problems, but hopefully we don't break down. So anyways, let's get to unboxing this thing, and then I'll just kind of talk about it as I go along. This is the cure and wash machine. So right off the bat, I mean, it's packaged very well. It's got this foam. I'm gonna hold on to this because this will be good for when I paint. I can just stab my sticks in there. Has the instructions. Looks like a little booklet here, operator's guide. You know, we'll definitely look at this. Usually I just kind of fumble around with things and just kind of figure it out. But I probably won't do that with this too much. Anyways. It's very well packaged in here. Like lots of... Like they didn't sit there and just put it up against the cardboard and hope the packaging company or the shipping company treated it well. I mean, they took some pretty good precautions. Nice thick foam on all four corners. And it looks like it's down on the bottom too. More foam. More foam. This cutout here is where it looks like the knob for the washer to stick through. All right. So looks like we got our base. Looks like it's gonna be a curing base. There's that big monster. Okay, so I was under the impression, I guess I misread it. I thought it was going to be two different machines. But it looks like it's just going to be two different buckets, if that makes sense. So basically I thought it was going to be in two of these, one for the washer, one for the cure, and then two separate buckets, one for the wash, one for the cure. But it looks like it's one machine is going to do both, wash and cure, and then you just have two different buckets. So I mean, that's not bad. I mean, because as you see, I got limited space right now until I can get my garage cleaned up. Again, it's very well packaged, nice thick plastic all the way around. Or styrofoam, not plastic. More styrofoam at the bottom. Let's see what we got in here. So this is going to be your wash tank, I know that. This is going to be your curing cap. Put it over the top of it when you're doing your UV lights. Don't think there's anything in here we could break. Except for maybe our black lights, I guess. I'm just going to play it like Jenga and just pull out things that are loose. This is charging cable. We'll open that in a minute. wrapping, nice and safe. These look like black lights or UV lights, whatever. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, it is two different machines. Okay, I thought I had sold two different machines. Okay, so it is two different machines. So that's just gonna be our cure. And I bet this is maybe the parts washer more than likely. I have no idea, to be honest, guys. Elegoo Mercury X Wash. It's a pretty good sign. In the cleaning mode, please add an appropriate amount of cleaner solution. Oh, that's another thing I didn't get. I didn't get anything to, like chemical wise to clean this stuff. So I ordered some isopropyl alcohol, 99%, and some 8K resin. More padding. So we got some little hardware here, some screws, probably to mount the lights. Got our bucket here. Or our bucket, our little tray, you know, like. Oh, excuse me. I don't have my mute, guys. Sorry. I can't mute the mic from here. So if you ever messed with any parts washers before, automotive, I'm assuming it's the same way. You put your parts in there, you're gonna dunk it, clean them off. I'm not gonna just set it down. Oh, it looks like it's clear. There's a little circumference in there. Spins. Yeah, from the way the numbers are facing, I'm assuming that is for sure going to be up. Here's another little, I have no idea, we'll have to figure it out in a minute. And the cap for it. Alright, so there's the UV coat. I'm just going to leave the plastic on this for now. I'm going to have to move these monitors and things too. This is where we used to stream at. Now we're going to stream on the other side of the office. I'm going to use this for printing until I, like I said again, until I can get out in that garage. I am working on it still. It's almost usable. Almost. I am in the desert Southwest. It gets very hot, so I'm trying to get it prepped up for summer. And I'm getting close. Alright, so now it's really safe to say that's the washer. Bucket's gonna sit here like so. Oh, it's magnetic. That's pretty cool. So yeah, this magnetically attaches to that. That's pretty cool. It does have some. It's not super heavy, but it has a little bit of weight to it. It's pretty lightweight. It's a lot lighter than you would expect this big brick to be. Like, it doesn't feel nearly as heavy as you would think. I.O. Nice. Curing station. What printer did you get? So I got the Elegoo Saturn II. And the Mercury X parts washer and curing machine. Here are black lights. Nice, have that. It's a good printer. Nice, very good, very good. I've actually, this is my very first printer ever. I've never owned one. I'm a little intimidated. Gotta be careful not to break anything as I open it. It's not as heavy as I would think this kind of stuff to be. Let me move the chat windows over here. help. But if you need a hand, just say been printing for years. If not, I will let you have fun working it out. No, I will usually I am definitely a trial and error type person. I usually just like to try it until I figure it out. But with this, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm definitely going to ease into this as much as possible. So I will be accepting help anywhere and everywhere I can get it. For sure. I appreciate it. Thank you. Got okay, so both machines run off one power block. That's pretty cool. Now I have to have a bunch of different power blocks running around. All right, this looks pretty self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure the graded size goes forward, like so. But let's just make sure. Oh no, I was completely wrong. That away. So this side goes forward. Well, I guess you can't really install these wrong now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, I guess you can't because you only got screw holes on 3 sides, and there's only screw holes on 3 sides on that, so I guess you can't really mess that up. So one of the lights did have 2 plugs on it, 3-prong and a 4-prong. Right. It does come with the Allen key and the screws, so I ain't gotta go dig out any tools. Oh, nice. And they give you a ball tip one, not just a straight one. Pretty nice of them. This is all plastic. Try not to be so rough with it. Try not to hunker down on it. I'm pretty sure I'm being way more gentle than I need to be with this thing. I don't think it's that fragile. So these holes too, I thought so just now when I was putting those in, but I just want to look right now. Yeah, 5 screws seems overkill. It's just UV LED lights, yeah. And they are coarse thread screws, so they're not pre-drilled into the plastic down below, so kind of getting that initial start may seem like you're cross-threading it if you're super worried. You're not actually cross-threading it, you're starting your own threads to the plastic. And 3 screws in a triangle pattern would have probably been plenty for this. And what made me decide to get a printer was the fact that I'm starting to get into miniatures. I bought some Warhammer the other day. I think they look pretty cool. I want to start getting into painting. I do a lot of Gundams. I want to start, some 3D print some parts for those. Also, there's some really cool, like 135 scale, like 36-inch tall Gundams I want to print. Obviously that'd be a multi-print. It's like 364 pieces or something you got to print off. Obviously, I'm not going to just jump right into that. I'm going to play around with it for a while and get comfortable with the machine. But yeah, I mean, pretty much only hobby I've ever been into is automotive. So it's been cars my entire life. So now I'm exploring a different hobby, and I've really been enjoying it. Building Gunpla and Legos and messing around with other models and trying to get into painting and stuff has been really cool. Alright, so that is it for that thing. Gotta run some power to it. Set it off to the side here. Now there's not really much to this. So I got the basket here, or basket down in here. I'll have to look and see where this goes. And it's got a magnetic base. And then, like I said, a dual power port for both of these. Power supply, both of those. Let's take a quick look at these instructions and see if I can't find where that top like it might go on top of the other basket, or the wire assembly might go on top of the cleaning basket bracket. Yep, so that's exactly what it is, the bracket. So I guess somehow it's going to attach to this. Not really sure. We'll look into it later on. I'm not going to kill a lot of time with this, but somehow it's a bracket to this. Definitely look into it and figure it out before I use it. Alright, now let's get to the big portion. This is the part I was most excited about. So this is the Elegoo Saturn II 3D printer, 8K. And the only reason why I went ahead and went with this too over just the regular Saturn 8K is just because it does have that little bit of extra height. I just kind of compared all the stats, and it looked like this one could print just a tad bit taller than the 8K. How much that's going to matter, I don't know, but I try to get every little bit I could out of everything. Again, right off the bat, it seems packaged pretty well. Power line, so it's probably power supply. Nice thick foam again. Instructions. Again, I was a complete amateur. I didn't get any resin yet. It's on the way now, and I didn't know this thing didn't come with a screen protector for the LCD screen or whatever it's called. Yeah, the LCD screen on the very bottom. So I went ahead and got both of those coming. Again, packaged very nice. Cradle it like a little baby coming out of here. It's not super heavy, but I mean, it's not, right off the bat, smacking it on things. It's kind of heavy. That feels more like I expected it to feel. So I'm not sure why they did this, why they packaged it from the top. I don't know if this top here probably isn't strong enough to support the weight. So why they didn't slip it in from the bottom, tie it off from the top. The good thing about the LCD screen, the Saturn II, is it's glass. I would still get a screen protector, but if you spill any resin, then it's easy to scrape off. Nice, okay, that's kind of what I was going for. I really want to protect this thing. And I want to make it last. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be like any other thing new too. Once I had it for a while and I get comfortable with it, I'll get a little complacent and I'll start letting things slide. But when I got my first scanner, I babied that thing for, oh my god, like the first year I just babied it and babied it and babied it. I got the Snap-on Zeus. Alright. Still again, lots of packaging. They took good care packaging this thing. I mean, I am super impressed with that. That may seem like a minor deal, but the way the packaging companies handle our stuff, like, a little bit of packaging goes a long way. Feels heavier than it should, so I think there's something in there. Yep, there we go. Oh boy. Please press firmly on the build plate when tightening the screws. We'll have to look into that and see what they're talking about. Yeah, Olgu does not mess around with packaging. Nice. So again, I try to give you the most upfront thing I've got here. I haven't watched any videos on this yet. I have no idea. I have seen how a resin printer works. This dips down and it picks it back up. So this has to be for leveling. Like that's the most obvious thing I can figure out. This is going to be an attachment arm. The screw looks pretty simple enough. Looks like it's going to slide over this, lock down with that, and then somehow we're going to have to level this. Hopefully there's a cheat. Hopefully we don't have to, because this plate is not flat on the top. So hopefully you don't have to get out here with a level and try to freaking level this thing front to rear, because that would suck. So hopefully there's something for that already. Again, I don't know the proper name for this, but I know this is where the resin goes. Screws. There we go. Protective film on there. I mean, overall, it seems very user-friendly. I'm not feeling like there's a cheat that's not in the manual, but I will let you see the official way first, then I can walk you through it. Perfect, perfect. So this is the LCD screen I was talking about. So, like K-Scale Models just mentioned, you know, if your resin gets through this, I keep wanting to call it a bucket or a catch, maybe a vat. You know, if it gets through this and gets down here on your LCD screen, I mean, it can start to ruin your screen over time. So I got a screen protector coming in for this, along with the resin. They should be here about the same time. Boy, oh boy. Yeah. Okay, that's not glass. That's more like a... That feels more like a screen protector, like a giant screen protector. Considering that holds resin, I thought this would be glass. So I don't know how perfect it needs to be. It's clear. It does have a little bit of... how would you describe it? There's no way I'm going to pick it up in the camera. I'm pretty positive. Let's see here. What's a word I can use to describe it? It does wear out over time and misprints. Okay, so I'll look into getting some more of these then. Because I have a feeling I'm probably gonna be a lot of misprints in the beginning, I'm sure. And it looks like it's just held in here with these screws and bracket. So it shouldn't be too expensive for these things. And if the plastic does, or this clear stuff does have some, well, I'm just gonna call them bubbles. You know, like on a piece of plastic when it released from the mold, it gets kind of like a lift sometimes, I guess you would say. It's just kind of scattered out throughout. It's not horrible, but it's not all over either. Like this whole section right here doesn't have it, but you get right here. And I'm seeing it reflecting it off the light. It's got some here, like 10 or 20. Got a couple there, but as you move this way, it clears up completely. Oh, there's a random 2 right here. 1 right here. I mean, I don't think that should be an issue. I mean, it's clear. You can see through it still. But yeah, we'll get our screen protector on later this week. And I'll order up some more of these, whatever those are. I thought it was magnetic, but no, there's 4 little holes that it's fallen into, guide holes, so you don't have to align it. Let's see what else we got here. So this is power line. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Well, I guess we need a block for this because that's not going to plug into this. Back you up a little bit here. Turn you over. Oh, sorry, Flock, I missed you there. That's cool. I appreciate it. I've foregone a Mechacore Gundam I've been wanting to get for this thing. It comes with a little USB, perfect. It has no brand on it, like nothing anywhere. I don't know what brand that is. Got a couple of Allen keys and some screws. A scraper. Scraper's gonna have to be for this. I'm pretty sure I saw in videos before where the guy scraped this part of this. I don't want to do glass with that. Some gloves. Some basic nippers. The other side of your power supply, the rest of the brick. There we go. There's a plastic one that you could use on the screen. I don't know if you could use it on this plastic piece on the bottom of this catch here, but you could definitely use it on the LCD. I mean, I guess you could use it on the screen too, as long on this part, the plastic piece on the bottom of this resin holder. Yes, don't use it on the FEP film. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, because that looks like it'll tear it quickly. Like, it's pretty sharp too. Like, I mean, it looks like a traditional putty knife. It seems a tad bit sharper than a regular putty knife. I had to compare it to my others. That's more of a blunt end. I got some basic paint filters. I guess so you can strain your resin first. I mean, I guess it can get impurities in it. Yeah, you can use that one on the vat. Okay. So, okay, that's what this is called. This is called the vat. So the plastic ones we can use on the vat. I guess your resin, just need to strain it like you do paint. I mean, it's probably like anything else that can get impurities in it. So that's pretty good. Comes with a few. I got some masks. I guess resin's kind of harmful to you. And this should be the carbon filter, I think is what I saw on the deal. So this is a replaceable filter. I did see some when I was buying this. They had replaceable filters. And it's supposed to keep the, I want to say smell, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. We can look into that stuff later. Just plugs in back here. There's a USB port. It's a standard USB port, nothing special. Probably don't want to lose that, but I mean, you're not going to be using it. All right, and then obviously you'd put this bad boy on and level it out, and use your bucket. The bucket does have a vent here. I guess because the resin does get the smelling pretty bad, so you can vent this thing out. Take this off. It's got some screws from the inside. Take this off, and you could do it like your air booth. Just plumb it outside with some wind. Yes, don't use it on the F&P film. Yeah, you can use that one. The strainer is more for putting the resin back in the bottle. Okay. So unlike paint going into your paint gun, you're actually gonna when you're pouring it out of this back into the bottle for storage. And that's another thing we need to look into. How long can we store it in this before I gotta dump it back out? Do I need to dump it out after every print and restrain it, or do I need to? I can just let it sit there for a few prints, stay there for a few days, weeks, months. Does it ever go bad? So that's some more stuff we got to look into. And then from there, it's pretty basic. You got a little touchscreen LCD here in the front and a big power button. The plug-in for this USB is right here on the side. So that's pretty good. Throw it in here on the side, hit print. It's not out here in the front, so it's less likely you're going to hit it and break it off. I mean, it could be kind of annoying, I guess. You know, because once you got your printer set up, it's like that. You don't want to be moving it around full of resin and whatnot. I mean, it is a little flying blind, but I mean, as long as you remember which direction it goes in, that's going to be the hardest part. I mean, you know, which way does it go in? Does it go in that way or does it go in that way? I don't see why you couldn't put an extender on it. Maybe just put an extender and run a little port right here. Plug it in down here at the bottom. Again, that's something we can look into. Yeah. So overall, this thing is built. It's done. I mean, we got to level this and put it on. And we got to get something to print. Get some resin. So yeah, this is actually really cool. This is very cool. It's actually not taking up as much space as I thought it would too. Again, if you followed me before or catched out any of the streams, see here, K-Scale model says technically you should put the resin back in the bottle when not stops, so I never do change that. Technically you should put the resin back in the bottle when not. Oh, when not in use. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so technically you should put the resin back in the bottle when not in use. When not in use. Okay, so it sounds like what he's saying is basically you should just dump this in the back in the bottle when it's not in use. But his printer's running all the time, so he don't ever dump it. I'm hoping that's the way this is going to be, that I don't have to fiddle around with that stuff and dump it back in the bottle. I have a feeling I'm going to be playing with this quite a bit. So I don't think I'll be dumping this back into the bottle too often. So yeah. So yeah, you just need to run this underneath the desk, get it plugged in, level that off. And again, I need to find a slicer, download a slicer, and then find a file to print. I guess there's plenty of free trial things we can do online. Find something to print. All right. So basically, what I'm gonna say about this for closing so far, I'm very impressed so far. I do not feel my printer run all the time. Okay. So basically, I don't feel overwhelmed. This is very simplistic. A lot easier than I thought it would be. Setup was super fast. I mean, it took me no time to set it up, and that's what me kind of fumbling around, taking my time, being extra careful. Just kind of explain what I was seeing as I went along. This is a film too on the bottom of this. Definitely pretty sure, yeah. So you want to peel that off as well. Yeah, definitely peel that off. So basically what I was looking at this is like a real life person, which I am obviously a real life person, but what I'm getting at is, you know, when you buy something new, you don't want to spend tons of time researching it and get overwhelmed, especially if you're new to it. This was a very straightforward process. I felt very comfortable during the whole process. I did no research on this thing at all. I got referred this brand from another streamer, or from another 3D printer, somebody who follows my stream. He showed me some things he was able to print off with it. I liked it. He recommended the Saturn. It was super cheap. It was like $342, but for just a little bit more, for like $5 and a quarter, you could step up to the 8K. But I think it even had a bigger vat and lift. So I went with that route. Parts washer and curing machine was like an additional $170. But again, you could forego that. You wouldn't have to do it. You can clean that stuff by hand. But I would like to just automate the process as much as possible, so I can just get to the end result and play with what I got. So as of to right this point, so far I have no complaints. I don't see anything I want to complain about, like this is super cheap, or you know, this is a pain in the ass. Like, I mean, this is honestly, I just want to start playing with it right now, but I don't have any resin, so yeah. If you have any questions, hit me up. Again, this is about as raw as you can get for looking at a 3D printer. I know nothing else about it. I can't really explain anything else. Hopefully I'll have my resin by Wednesday, and we can try to print something on Wednesday. But we'll see. I'll get the files downloaded that I need, hopefully tomorrow, and then I'll show you on Wednesday what I downloaded and where I got it from. and I'll let you know how hard it was to find. Like if it's a pain in the ass to find, I'll tell you it's a pain in the ass. But it's pretty straightforward. I'll tell you that too. Question: do you have gloves for handling the resin when you get it in? Yeah. So I use they came with these little crappy doctor gloves. I usually use. This is usually what I use. It has a little bit of grip on it. I think these are 9mm gloves, heavy duty disposable Gorilla gloves. Okay, no, they're 6mm gloves. My black ones are 9mm. So these are 6mm. Out in the garage when I'm working on the car or whatever, I usually use the 9mm. Is this going to be good enough or no? So yeah, usually I don't take a lot of safety precaution, guys. Like usually I'm super careless. Like I usually don't wear gloves and I usually don't wear eyeglasses. I understand the resin's pretty can be pretty dangerous. So I'm definitely gonna use glasses and gloves when I'm handling this stuff. When I'm sanding it, I'll probably use a better mask than this, more comfortable mask, especially because I'll be in it for a while. I don't know if I'm gonna go as crazy as using my respirator I use when I'm painting a car or painting inside of a house. I might try to find more like a face fitting one that's more like a cloth that still has the filters. Maybe I'll see if that's okay to use with resin. Yeah, because I'm definitely not gonna mess around with this stuff. I don't want to go blind. Again, maybe once I get more comfortable with it, I'll probably start being more careless and you guys can shake your finger at me and tell me to stop doing it. Should be okay to use. Perfect. Yeah, like I said, if anything, I can go get my 9mm out of the garage. There's the black ones. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm getting kind of antsy right now. I'm like really kicking myself in the butt for not ordering resin up front. For some reason, I just figured resin would just come in it, like some test resin. And I figured something would already be preloaded on this, where all you have to do is just pour the resin in, plug it in, hit print, and look at what you got. But yeah, you are going to need a slicer, which is a computer program. And you're going to need something to print. So yeah, hopefully we can mess with this some more later on this week. Super excited. I am super excited. I feel like there's so much more to say about this. There are preloaded files on that USB as well as the slicers. Nice. So that's good. So I don't have to go creating anything or purchasing anything. Just give it a try right out of the box. That's pretty cool too. So far, guys, I'm super impressed. A buddy of mine bought like a $100 one off of Amazon, or $150 one, I think, off of Amazon like a year. It was right before, it was either right before or right after the COVID thing was bad. And he said that thing came in a box that was like this big by this big and a couple inches thick, and he had to assemble the whole thing, and it was a nightmare. He's a mechanic as well, so he's mechanically inclined. I still haven't actually seen the printer itself. I do know it's the wire feed kind. I do know that. But that's kind of what I was afraid of too. I didn't want to get into having to assemble a lot of mess and all that kind of stuff. I can give you a link to Google Docs with a lot of free Gunpla files if you want. Absolutely, man, that would be greatly appreciated for sure. For sure. Perfect. So we'll definitely be getting on those files as well. Again, I'll show you how I get it, how I install it. I'm gonna go through the whole process. As an amateur, I know everything you're probably gonna find on YouTube. These guys look perfect. Like, oh man, everything just flows so smoothly. I'm gonna show you all the stupid mistakes I make. I'm gonna show you, like, I'm literally gonna go through this like a baby. So hopefully I'll get a good laugh at this, and hopefully I don't break anything. So yeah, so I think now let's get on to the next part of the stream, which is going to be painting and customizing my daughter's 144 scale RX 78. little dude here. This is her first Gundam she built. Pretty sure a lot of people's already built it. It's nothing special at all. Very cheap, high grade. RX-78, 144 scale. I gotta dig out. I think she has some more weapons and some sabers for it. But she wants this thing to be pink and purple. And then any accent colors and stuff I got free reign with. So yeah. So we're fixing to disassemble this. I'm gonna be brush painting it. I went ahead and ordered a paint, what is it called? An airbrush gun. Again, I've never done any airbrushing. I've painted automotive bikes, I've painted houses, exterior and interior, but I've never messed with a little airbrush gun. So I have one of those coming in, but for this, we're gonna completely hand paint it. We're gonna use a brush, play with it a few different things. Maybe drill some holes, maybe add some texture to it, I don't know. We're gonna do something. I have some plate, first plug plate or whatever it's called, the plastic modeling plate. So we can cut out some things and mess with that. I got some magnets. We're gonna magnetize the shield for sure. I don't know what else we're gonna do, but again, we're just gonna kind of freestyle it as we go. If you guys got anything you want to see done while I'm doing it, put your comments in and I'll see if I can make it happen during the build. So all right guys, let me go ahead and end this here. Casey Scales, I completely appreciate it, man. Thank you. Also Lord Builder, he's the guy who kind of got me started on this. Thank you as well if you're seeing this, or if you come back and see it later. He helped me a lot in the beginning with a lot of information about 3D printing and how easy it's gotten, and kind of got me over that little fear hump to get started on this. So I am super excited. Actually, I just want to sit here and just fumble with this all day. I can already feel myself starting to repeat myself over and over. That means I'm getting nervous, and all I want to do is just fiddle with this printer and this washer. But I'm kind of to a stopping point. I want to watch a video. I usually, like I said, again, I usually like to just try things, but I want to watch a video and I want to read the instructions on how to level that plate. I don't want to crack that screen or bind up this, looks like this motor here. I don't want to put that thing in a bind and tear that thing up. I'm sure they'll warranty their machines, but not against neglect. So I want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So yeah, let's go ahead and end this stream here. Let me get my camera back on my mount and we'll restart a new stream. In case you're curious, I'm kind of curious where I'm doing all this at. I'll give you a little shot here. Let me make sure I've got nothing pulled up. Okay, yeah. So this is it. We used to stream on this side of the office here. But like I said, I wanted a place to put the printer inside until I get my garage finished. So now we're gonna come over here. We're gonna start streaming over here in this little pocket. This is a very little room. It's only like 6 foot by 120 inches. 6.5 feet by 120 inches. Or 8.5 feet. I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 8 wide and 120 inches long. I do know that. This is it. This is my little office. Very claustrophobic in here, for sure. Got a little mini split in here. There on the roof. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. Because it gets super hot in here with these computers running. I do got 2 computers in here. My daughter plays on that one the most. This is my build. I got the specs down below if you care at all. And I built this desk. It's a floating desk, so I got a bunch of junk shoved underneath it. But yeah, this is it. This is my little playroom. Garage, like I said, hopefully very soon, especially before summer, I will get the garage finished up and we can get out there, get a lot more room. All right, guys. K-Scale, I will definitely be sending you a message, man, for sure. Hopefully I don't bother you too much. I'm going to be picking your brain as we go along. So I appreciate it. If I get too much of annoying, just tell me, hey man, figure that shit out like yourself. I don't mind. Alright guys, I'm going to end this now. I'm going to quit rambling and give me like 20 minutes to get this camera back on the desk mount, and we'll start the next stream. Alright guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it.